Vecinos, English, Neighbors, is a Mexican TV series adapted in 2005 by actor Eugenio Derbez from Spanish TV series Aquí, quien, viva. It premiered on July 10, 2005. The series portrays the life of everyday people in Mexican barrios, where anything can be found. The jealous housewife, the spinster, the strange family, etc. Each episode features the interactions between these peculiar neighbors, where they deal with problems both real and imagined, such as ghosts, treasures, ripoffs, fights, etc. Production for the fourth season began in May 2017 and it premiered on August 28, 2017. History. When Eugenio Derbez traveled to Spain in 2005, he saw a TV series named Aquí, quien, viva, which features the same kind of problems that people have in the barrios. He thought a Mexican remake would be a good idea, so he created Vecinos. Cast and characters. The doorkeeper, German Martinez, portrayed by Eduardo España, is the building's doorman. He is lazy, but he tries to pretend the opposite in front of the neighbors. He almost always wears a backwards baseball cap, sagging jeans, and a too small, too tight, belly-exposing t-shirt. The Balboas. Don Roque Balboa, portrayed by Polo Orton, is an elderly retired soldier. His neurotic character makes him intolerant and he lives in eternal disagreement with his neighbors. He has a teddy bear named Rambo. Due to Orton's death in 2016, Don Roque doesn't appear in Season 4, though the first episode paid tribute and was dedicated to him. Vanessa Balboa, portrayed by Roxana Castellanos, is a veterinarian and a hardcore pet lover. She lives with her grandfather, Don Roque Balboa. Dona Carta Catita Balboa, portrayed by Maria Prado, is a heavily religious nurse hired by Don Roque's son to take care of him after Vanessa moves out. At first she's somewhat antagonistic towards Don Roque because she's always trying to take away his sweets, which his doctor forbade him from eating, and talk him out of doing foolish things. But they eventually develop a romantic relationship over their surprisingly similar tastes and hobbies and get married. The Olvera, Sylvia Olvera, portrayed by Mayron Villanueva, is a desperate woman dealing with internal conflicts of not yet having found her soulmate. She teaches ethics in high school and is going through a mid-30s crisis. The Rios, Frankie Rivers, Rios, portrayed by Cesar Bono, is a failed actor who lives in the past, reinventing every moment of that distant time when he appeared in the film La Toalla del Mojado. Attempting to return to the world of acting, he often writes movie scripts, but always winds up plagiarizing an existing one. Lorena Rivers, Rios, portrayed by Ana Bertha Espin, is Frankie's wife, a vicious gossip from a wealthy family. Benito Rivers, Rios, portrayed by Octavio Acana, is Lorena and Frankie's son, an innocent, focused, studious boy who wants to be a doctor. He also enjoys fighting games and frequently meets with German and Pedro to play or watch them on television. He feels embarrassed every time and his mother forces him to wear costumes for his several involuntary auditions, which always fail. Patricia Pato Alcantara, portrayed by Carla Zuckerman, is a mischievous little girl who replaces Benito when he finds a way to run away from home by exploiting a student exchange program. Unlike Benito, Pato isn't forced to go on auditions and instead spends most of her spare time playing pranks on her neighbors, her favorite target being German, whom she often frames as culprit of her worst misdeeds. The Lopez, Arturo Lopez, portrayed by Moises Suarez, is a mature man who tries to get ahead and earn the respect of his family and their neighbors. But it is no secret that his wife dominates him. He often tries to use slang to relate to his children, but only sounds and looks foolish. Magdalena Perez Lopez, portrayed by Macaria, is Arturo's wife, a presumptuous woman obsessed with what others may think of her. She will seem to have what she hasn't and be what she isn't. She hates living in the building and categorizes everyone as NACOS. She thinks she deserves to live somewhere else more appropriate to her class, although she did not even finish middle school. Alejandra Lopez, portrayed by Danny Pereira, is Arturo and Magdalena's 16-year-old daughter. Rebellious, lazy, and messy, she backtalks every time her parents lecture her, which causes Magdalena to berate Arturo. She finds her brother a dicerebrated fresser and lives in constant friction with him. She loves hard rock and grunge. Marco Lopez, portrayed by Eugenio Derbez, is Magdalena and Arturo's son, Alejandra's younger brother. At 17, he's barely scraping by in his junior year of high school after having had to repeat several school terms because of his laziness. In trying to give him everything, his mother has made him a parasite. He's ashamed of both parents and their social status. Yesenia La Yesh Trevino, portrayed by Aradhan Ali, is the daughter of one of Magdalena's old classmates. Yesh is a naive but sweet girl who grew in a wealthy household and holds no prejudices. She's invited to live with the Lopez when Marco leaves to study abroad and her parents decide to take an extended vacation. While Alejandra considers her a moron and a nuisance, Yesh believes them to be best friends. She befriends and eventually starts a relationship with Alejandra's friend and bandmate Pilachu, much to Alejandra's annoyance. Rocco, portrayed by Marcan Lopez. Morris, portrayed by Said Kassab. The Friends. Luis St. Roman, portrayed by Dario Ripoll, is neurotic and apprehensive. Everything goes wrong for him. He's looking for a woman, but whenever he likes one, she ends up preferring his friend Pedro. Pedro Medina, portrayed by Pablo Valentin, the careless and irresponsible but good-natured type of guy but who takes life lightly. Like Luis, he sells all kinds of goods in a trading company. Despite not being very smart, his charm and luck always make him succeed. He takes advantage of situations but isn't ill-intentioned. Often wins business and sales to Luis. He likes soccer and can spend the day lying on his couch watching TV and eating junk food. Luisito San Roman II, portrayed by Ian Rubio de la Cerda, is a toddler that Luis and Pedro raised together after his mother, Luis' ex-girlfriend, abandons him with them, claiming he's Luis' son. It's eventually discovered that Luisito is in reality the son of his mother's ex-boyfriend Roand. He's taken away from his adoptive father. Other characters. Dona Soco, portrayed by Maria Rubio, is the owner of the building. Dona Soco is a ruthless businesswoman with no qualms about tossing the neighbors out if it benefits her. Jorge, portrayed by Manuel Flaco Ibanez, is a homeless, but nonetheless clever, man. Jorge uses pathos to manipulate others into giving him food, money, jobs, etc. His skill, or rather, willingness, to work often overshadows German, leading to conflict between both characters. Don Serafio, portrayed by Pedro Romo, is the local handyman who charges reasonable prices and always does a good job. Don Serafio is often frustrated by the neighbor's willingness to listen to German when he claims he could do the same job quicker and for a lower price, and almost always ends up coming back to fix everything when German fails miserably. Pilachu, portrayed by Luis Gerardo Mendez, is Alejandra's friend and bandmate, vocalist for her rock band. Pilot, who is a dim-witted boy who dresses in punk fashion but is anything but. He befriends Yish in a plot to squeeze money out of her, but eventually falls for her, going as far as being willing to give up his friendship with Alejandra to remain with Yish. Cordelia, portrayed by Claudia Boller, is German's on and off girlfriend who works as a maid in a neighboring building. Neto, portrayed by Benjamin Rivero, is the handsome and muscular owner of the convenience store next to the building. Neto often flirts with Sylvia, who flirt right back. Episodes. Series overview. Season 1, 2005-07. Season 2, 2007. Season 3, 2008. Season 4, 2017. Awards and nominations. Premios TV Novelas. Vecinos on IMDb.